Today, a federal appeals court deciding whether President Trump's travel ban will stand.
Plus, Democratic senators spent the night on the Senate floor, and they are still there right now. Fox 8's Brad Jones joins us now with more on what they are talking about. Brad.
Good morning to you right now. This is a live look on the U.S. Senate floor, and the gentleman standing right here, Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut. And again, as Kerry said, they have been there throughout the night. Let's listen in.
Having only watched my kids progress through second grade and pre-K, that public schools will not be a dead end for my children. But to have a Secretary of Education who doesn't believe that the public schools that are going to be under her charge can lead to results for our kids like they have for generations is unacceptable. And it's why this body, in a bipartisan way.
Well, this also over the nomination of Betsy DeVos for Education Secretary, and is basically kind of a battle back and forth between parties. Right now, two Republicans are saying they will vote against the nomination. If at least one more joins them, it would not pass. Final Senate vote for a confirmation expected at noon today. But as you can see, those Democrats spending the entire evening there rallying against the nomination. They are also asking people to call Republican senators, urging more to vote against her.
Betsy DeVos is the first nominee ever to go through the HELP committee who has flat out refused to fully disclose her financial holdings. She will be the first nominee in recent history to hold secret trusts. She was supposed to complete a form that requires nominees to list in detail all of their assets, investments, and debts, so that the committee has a full understanding of the nominee's potential conflicts of interest. Nope. She wants to keep many of her holdings in a family trust a secret. So she just won't tell.
Public school advocates also oppose DeVos because of her lack of education experience and strong advocacy for school voucher programs. Under those programs, students in failing public schools could get money to go to private schools, but advocates worry that would only hurt traditional public school systems. Today, 3 federal judges will hear oral arguments to challenge the president's executive order on immigration. This hour-long hearing will take place via telephone among judges on the West Coast, set to determine the immediate fate of a nationwide restraining order on the travel ban. Under that ban, people from several Muslim-majority countries are banned from entering the U.S. Attorneys General in Washington State and Minnesota, who challenged the executive order, said the restraining order should remain in place. They accuse the president of, in their words, unleashing chaos by signing it. No matter what they decide today, the case may certainly end up in the U.S. Supreme Court. First told you about the president's interview with Fox News host Bill O'Reilly yesterday. One of the main topics during that talk was Russia and Trump's relationship with Vladimir Putin. Now the Kremlin asking for an apology from Fox News. President Donald Trump is being accused of defending Russian President Vladimir Putin during the Super Bowl interview with Fox News host Bill O'Reilly. O'Reilly refusing to apologize for calling Putin a killer after demands from Russia.
We think that the words like that coming from the Fox correspondent are unacceptable, offensive, and to be honest, we would prefer to get an apology to Putin coming from such a respected company.
President Trump says there are larger threats than Russia. He claims President Obama talked with him on Inauguration Day about the #1 problem the United States faces, but refuses to identify the problem country.
The #1 problem that he felt, I was a little bit surprised, but I fully understand. I don't want to let that particular place know that that's the way he or I feel.
After a vicious campaign with Hillary Clinton, the president says he got along very well with Mr. Obama on Inauguration Day.
We said horrible things about each other, and then we hop into the car and we drive down Pennsylvania Avenue together. We don't even talk about it.
Mr. Trump also defending his immigration ban on 7 Muslim-majority countries and his plan to build a border wall with Mexico. While the Mexican president says his country won't pay for it, he claims otherwise.
They want to negotiate a deal. I want to negotiate a deal. We'll see what happens. But we can always do a tariff or a tax if necessary.
During that interview, O'Reilly also pressed Trump on the claims of voter fraud, but the president still had no evidence it actually happened. The two also talked about the nuclear deal with Iran and repealing the Affordable Care Act, which he is already saying that may take a little more time than he originally thought.
We should also mention there was the claim from the president that the media hasn't been covering a number of attacks and terror attacks. He announced that at MacDill Air Force Base, and that just wasn't true. The White House listed a number of the attacks of concern, and several of those have been covered. On that list was San Bernardino, Paris, Orlando. So they have been covered.
Things that we here at Fox 8 told you all about. And that's where, you know, some questions are coming into play when President Trump says these things, kind of asking, where's your evidence for that? And I think that's fair to do.
Absolutely.
All right, Brad, thanks so much. The community continues to rally around a young man who was badly injured during a rodeo competition.
16-year-old Wesley Fishel is in critical condition this morning after he fell off of a bull Saturday at the NC High School Rodeo Association Multi-State Rodeo. Fox 8's Nick Sturdivant live this morning at Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center in Winston-Salem. And Nick, we spoke with his family. Any updates on how he's doing?
Yeah, Gary, good news. Wesley is doing a lot better according to his family, and doctors are actually surprised by how well he is doing since Saturday. The 16-year-old is a junior at South Stokes High School. His family says he fell off the bull, like you said, Carrie, and got trampled. He was wearing a helmet and protective vest and immediately rushed to the hospital. Since then, the community has rallied around the family with a prayer circle, first at the rodeo and then yesterday at his school, something that his family says has helped.
They didn't give him much chance Saturday night. They didn't think he would be here. And after he come out of surgery today, like I said, doctor just said they couldn't believe what they found, how good he was. And my explanation is the power of prayer. The kids at the high school, prayer circle, the rodeo family, our cattle showing family, the church families, the outpouring of prayer support we've had from all over the country and parts of the world.
And you heard it there, the power of prayer, and the prayers keep rolling in as later this morning, his former school, Walkertown High School, will hold its own prayer vigil at 8:30 this morning. Back to you guys.
Both of those communities strongly affected by this.
Yes, and we know those high schools are praying and the entire community is. Nick, thanks so much for that update.
Employees with Davidson County Schools went face-to-face with school board members. This is the first meeting employees had with the board after learning a fake email was sent asking for their personal information. Workers packed last night's school board meeting. It was the first since sensitive information from 3,200 employees was compromised. Some say the board isn't doing enough to fix the problem, while others say they want someone to be held accountable.
But I asked you to consider that you've affected over 3,000 people's lives, and it's never going to go away until we die. So I think something needs to happen. Maybe instead of coming to train me, train yourself.
Well, the school system superintendent apologized and says the school system set up a call center to answer questions. It's also offering 2 years of free credit monitoring and voted to give employees weekly updates on the investigation.
Today, we could learn if a new fire station is coming to Greensboro. The City Council expected to vote to approve Fire Station 63 off Burlington Road. Firefighters say there could be more growth in that area when the Greensboro Loop opens and want to cut the commute time and get a chance to reach every household within 6 minutes. Money left over from a bond passed in 2006. It would help pay for the project, a project that could cost about $4.6 million. If approved, construction on this new fire station could start as soon as April.
Good morning to you. It's going to be a nice warm